The controversy surrounding Prince Harry has resurfaced following his request for full security funded by UK taxpayers. Why does a prince, who has chosen to live far from the royal family, still desire protection from the UK government? This is a question that has many people wondering, especially in the midst of the current economic crisis. What drives Harry to continue pursuing this request despite many feeling it is inappropriate? Prince Harry and his wife, Meghan Markle, who now reside in the United States, seem to be drifting further from the attention of the British public. But what happens when they come to the UK and ask for protection funded by taxpayers? Why does Harry feel that this is the right time to make such a request, even as the country faces a significant economic downturn? Furthermore, many are asking, what benefit does the British public gain from Harry's actions, which continue to spark controversy? Of course, Harry is not alone in making this request. Meghan has also voiced her desire for full security, despite both of them being far removed from official royal duties. So, why do they feel they still deserve benefits that are typically reserved for active members of the royal family? What exactly are they hoping to gain from this recognition, and is it fair for the British public to accept such demands? One of the biggest questions is why Harry insists on pursuing his request despite heavy criticism. Doesn't he see the negative consequences it could have, especially in the midst of the country's crisis? Some believe this is the worst possible time for Harry to ask for further financial support from the British public. What is going through Harry's mind? Does he not realize that this could further damage his reputation? Meanwhile, Harry's supporters argue that he deserves protection due to the threats he faces. But is the threat truly significant enough for the UK government to provide full security for Harry and Meghan? On the other hand, many feel this is an ego-driven decision, and that Harry should be more mindful of the current socio-economic situation in the UK. Why doesn't he consider seeking a more sensible solution? Amidst this tension, many argue that Harry should make wiser decisions. Why does he continue to demand his rights even though it is clear that doing so will only alienate him further from the public? At 40 years old, Harry should be mature enough to understand the consequences of his actions. Shouldn't he? What makes him continue acting in this manner, even when both the royal family and the public are clearly unsupportive? Not only that, but Harry's presence at charity events such as Wellchild remains in the spotlight. What exactly does he contribute to the British public, aside from occasionally attending major events? Some argue that his attendance is merely to gain media attention and bolster his public image. Is this true, or is there another reason he chooses to remain active in such activities? This controversy, of course, doesn't end here. If Harry truly does secure the protection he's asking for, how will the public react to such a decision? Will the British public agree to pay higher taxes for the security of a royal family member who has chosen to live apart from them? What long-term consequences could arise if this request is granted? There's also a deeper question to consider. What do Harry and Meghan actually want from their relationship with the royal family? Do they genuinely wish to repair their relationship, or are they merely seeking personal gain behind all of this? Why do they feel entitled to more protection and support, despite having stepped away from the royal system? Of course, we can't ignore the fact that this request comes at a very inconvenient time. What can we conclude from Harry's persistence in pushing for his demands, despite the difficult situation in the UK? Does this show a lack of concern for the state of the nation, or is there a deeper reason we don't yet understand? One thing is certain, many people feel this is a misguided move. Ultimately, all of this will depend on how the royal family and the UK government respond to the request. Will they grant Harry what he's asking for, or will they refuse on the grounds that the nation's situation doesn't allow for it? What will happen if Harry and Meghan do indeed get what they want, and how will the public react? These are still unanswered questions. One thing is for sure, this royal family drama is far from over, and more people are beginning to question what Prince Harry actually wants. Is he fighting for his rights, or is this simply an ego-driven move that will further tarnish his image in the eyes of the public?